Hi there. You know, I woke up this morning thinking of Sammy Cooper. He was a guy I knew 40 years ago. Sammy was sort of a friend, but I guess he was an acquaintance, a crook, um, sold drugs, of course, but did just about anything. And why did I like Sammy so much? He was a trier. People recall from back then that he would try and lift just about anything. He stole Christmas hams one year and ran them out town selling them. Another time, he took some swimming pools. They were rolled up, plastic. And had he secured them properly in the van, well, it was a flatbed truck actually, they wouldn't have all rolled off when he went up a steep hill. One by one, the rolled up blue plastic swimming pools dropped to the ground. And on the roadway, they unravelled. So Sammy didn't sell any just stolen swimming pools. He simply paved the road in blue plastic. Sammy was most famously remembered for stealing a safe, but not being able to open it. He tried a few things, worried about burning the riches within, by using fire, of course. So he attached it to the hook of a tow truck and then drove the swinging safe around town, bashing it into corners of buildings, hoping the thing would just break open. It didn't, and there were a lot of wrecked buildings. Eventually, some professional came in and discovered there was nothing in there. But Sammy and that tow truck and that swinging safe, that became famous. I think of Sammy because there's some people, and you probably know a few of them, who have terrible luck, but just a little bit of good luck or conditioning that saves them in the end. Sammy was in a cafe one evening, a bit of a low-rent dive, but he was sitting at one of the booths, having a cup of coffee. Probably, I think he was waiting for some connection. Anyway, a man strode through the door, walked up to Sammy, pulled out a gun, and emptied 3 shots in Sammy's direction. Sammy had been shot by a guy known as the Turk, and the Turk mistook him from the brother of an enemy, and Sammy looked close enough, so he ended up being shot. But, of course, that was bad luck, but worse happened. Sammy, for all his efforts in engineering of failed schemes, had another little cross to bear. He was, a raging junkie and had to have the usual number of fixes every day. And he had his junkie friends, and they were pretty good to each other. It takes a lot of weeding out amongst that crew to find the good ones. So, the Turk has shot Sammy, and he's in hospital. And it's not looking too good, but apart from an inability to speak, Sammy's not too bad. The mouse, a fellow junkie, but all around, hopeless guy, but entertaining, came to visit Sammy in hospital. He'd heard that Sammy was at death's door and going to die. He heard that Sammy was in great pain, so he didn't come unprepared. When the mouse visited Sammy's hospital room, he went to him. He got close. He looked into the bleary eyes and said, "Sammy, I heard you're in pain. I came to fix that." And somehow, the one-sided conversation deteriorated, and the mouse got the idea that Sammy wanted the final solution. He wanted a hotshot that would send him to a better world than the one he'd been in. So the mouse went away and came back. Sammy was quite pleased to see the mouse mixing up a big, hot spoonful, but got a little bit alarmed at the amounts he was putting in until he heard the mouse say, "That's okay, Sammy. I'll put you out of your misery. I thought about it. I'd want somebody to do it for me, so I'm going to end all your troubles. I know you can't take the pain any longer." And of course, Sammy, who couldn't speak, was mumbling things and grunting, which was really, "Please don't. I don't want to die." But the mouse just wept a tear and said, "Sammy, I'm going as fast as I can." And he mixed even more in and loaded up a huge syringe full of everything the mouse could afford and plunged it into one of Sammy's veins. Now, luckily, and this is a virtue of having indulged in every vice, like Rasputin, you're hard to kill. As fearful as Sammy was of the syringe that probed into him and the huge amount of heroin that suddenly coursed through his veins, he was slightly conditioned to it. So though he turned blue, spat out all the life-saving equipment, including the breathing tube, and rolled over and landed on the floor, he was still alive. When I caught up with the mouse the next day, he told me the story, and I said, well, was Sammy angry with you? And I said, no, it wasn't at all. He just said, well, that was the best blast I ever had. A survivor, old Sammy. If you've got any Sammy Cooper stories in your life, let me know them. There should be statues around town to the great survivors. You can claim people are idiots. You can watch their failures. But at least they try. I've got to go now. There's a damn ice cream seller. You can hear him, Mr. Softy or something. I can see through the window. Oh, for an inch. I'd go back to my old ways and it'd be the last softy that guy ever sold. The old pedo. Bye until next time.